Drivers, start your engines.
Welcome everybody to North Wilkesboro Speedway for round number 1 of the MROC series. It stands for Multi-League Race of Champions. We've got an exciting series here, 4 races. The short one, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with just a minute and a half to go here in practice. But unlike in previous weeks, we don't have any qualifying because the grid is set by the reverse standings from the Cup Series that just ended last week. I'm joined in the booth, of course, by Mr. Ken Huber out in Montana. Ken, is it snowing out there yet or what?
Not yet, but it's below zero, or below zero for those Canadians out there. We're probably in the mid-20s, but yeah, we'll get some snow out here eventually. And but I'm really looking forward to a hot night of racing here at North Wilkes. So really excited about what you put on here with the MROC series here. I think this will be our second season broadcasting together, so should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, certainly. I think so too. It's going to be a blast. A little bit different format here with just 16 drivers going to take the green flag tonight that are scheduled. The running order is predetermined, like I said, based on the reverse points of this past year's Cup Series championship, which means Mr. Justin Michael starts shotgun basically on the field. And we'll check out who the front row is here in about 10 seconds when everybody grids up. But a couple different things about the format as well here with the MROC series. There are no tire changes, so what you bring to the track, your Hoosier tires, is what you got. Gonna take to the checkered flag, so got to take care of them for all 110 laps tonight. It's gonna be tricky strategy-wise and should bring up some interesting things of people kind of maybe sandbagging for cautions or just going all out. Should be really interesting how that plays out. 100% fuel, so fuel should not be an issue at all. And I think that about covers everything that is different here in the MROC series.
Yeah, something else too, Scott, is we also added all this past season's champions from the MROC. Of course, it's called the Multi-League Race of Champions. So we've got a couple of extra additions. Not only is it the top 16 from the full Cup season, but we also have a couple other people in this race that are past season champions.
That we do. That'd be Johnny Hamby. Who do we bring in? Johnny Hamby and Mr. Mike Erder, the Dart, they call him, from Frankenstein Racing. Very fun to see those two cars. Another unique thing about tonight, you just notice the cars are all painted identical. We basically based this series off of the old IROC series, International Race of Champions, from the 90s, 2000s. We started last year and it was a huge hit, so we're bringing it back this year. So all the cars you see out there have unique color schemes, but they are all identical paint, and they got the driver name on the rear bumper as well as the side of the car, so you know exactly who you're driving up on at any given point.
Yeah, these cars are beautiful. Scott, you did a great job painting them. I was going to mention about our past champions. You know, we had mentioned Justin Michael won the Monday night series, the Cup Series, the premier series in Multi-League. And on Tuesday nights, Mike Erder, one of our guests out here, won the Xfinity Series. Wednesday night, Johnny Hamby wins the GT Master Series. That's why he's here. And then it looks like Friday night it was, again, Heath Smith, and he's also one of our regular Cup time guys that got in the top 16. Anyway,
let's take a look at our starting grid here. We only got 2 laps here. It's going to go by really fast. Michael Milfelt from Missouri starting on the pole. Jack Watson second. Heath Smith third. Trent Drummond fourth. Christopher Davis starting P5. Greg Mall in 6th. James Hearn 7th. Vernon Margheim, who's I think not going to be racing tonight, unfortunately, but he would be starting 8th. Rod Mitten in 9th, and Billy Bumgarner rounding up the top 10.
Yeah, and Jeffrey Merck will start in 11th on the inside. Charles Widener will start in 12th. Wesley Holland will start in 13th. Justin Michael starts in 14th. Mike Erder back there in 15th. And Johnny Hamby, last car on the field, will start this show tonight.
There it is, your starting grid. Race analysis, 110 laps, 16 cars starting, partly cloudy, 78 degrees, 0 tire changes, 1 fast repair. We are set for racing at North Wilkesboro. Pace truck is in, and green flag is out. Let's go racing. Round number 1, Multi-League Race of Champions underway. Michael Milfelt with a great start, side by side there in second with Jack Watts throwing it in there on the outside.
Yeah, Michael Milfelt doing a great job. We're not used to seeing Michael Milfelt out on the pole, so that reverse thing is... and Michael Milfelt's a fast guy, but he's got that one car, Heath Smith, coming in behind that orange number 1 there. Looking like he's making a move to the inside there of Jack Watts.
I think so too. We'll see if these guys can keep it on the bottom here. Notice that apron just fall off pretty quickly there, so he's got to let off the throttle. Probably let Jack have a little bit of more momentum on the outside there as he tries to battle side by side here. And Heath Smith gets the best of that spot here on lap number 3 going on the board.
Yes, he does. I'm looking a little bit further back here. It looks like James Hearn's back here, side by side with Billy Bumgarner. 3 wide now. The 8 car. Oh, there we got 2 together there. 87 Justin Michael, and it looks like 78. And we're still green right now, Scott.
We are somehow. James Hearns.
Yeah, that 78's got to get it turned around. He's back going again. We stay green, so well, that's good news for the racing gods.
That is somehow there. Interesting. Let's go back and maybe take a quick look at that incident if we can. Camera's not working. We'll skip that. We'll go back live here.
Yeah, so that was almost a tough break there for Justin Michael. Going to have to dig his way out. He's in that red number 87 car. He's back there in 12th now, kind of all by himself, cleaning his drawers out, trying to bring that car up to the front.
Yeah, Justin Michael, obviously we talked about him with 13 wins on the season, taking the championship last week at the Stone River Outfitter Cup Series, and he's not necessarily all that used to driving back in traffic. And this kind of took a toll on him, a little bit of right front damage, but these guys do have one faster pair if we happen to get a caution later in this race here.
Yeah, and there's a few cars out there with damage. Charles Widener's got some damage on that left front inside front fender there, as he's Johnny Hamby looking to the inside underneath Charles Widener right now as they come across the back stretch, or the front stretch I should say. Can't quite get it done there. He's looking into turn 1 here. Johnny down low.
Johnny Hamby as well with some left front damage. Looks like maybe got involved in that as well. He's got some left front damage for Johnny and Charlie.
We got Shelly Mall out there saying, let's go. Greg Mall currently running in 4th, just behind the 77 car of Jack Watts, that black machine. You see the dark royal blue 7 car Greg Mall right now. Put pressure on that 77 car of Jack Watts.
There he is, Greg Mall started in 4th as low as 6th and running 4th right now. Different camera view perspective as these guys are racing super late models. We're changing up the cars. Super racy car here. I think it's a car these guys can really get a handle of, kind of throw into the corner, beat and bang a little bit as we've seen already. But Ken, what do you think about this car maybe compared to the Cup car? They have to be maybe a little bit more gentle with, you think?
Yeah, I think these cars are very lively. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in them. I was used to the regular late model, and I just happened to get this car because we were doing this season here a few weeks ago and turned some laps with you, and kind of an exciting car to drive. I think these cars are really free. They have iRacing's provided good setups and that full tank of fuel. Right now we got a battle for 3rd. It looks like 7 car Greg Mall getting under Jack Watts, and will take that position.
There he is, Jack Watts out there.
Back up front for the lead, Heath Smith starting to put a lot of pressure on that 155 car, Michael Melfeld Jr. That one looking for a spot to get around that car has been putting quite a bit of pressure the last few laps, 2 or 3 laps. Michael Melfeld Jr. doing a great job holding on to the lead there, but you can see getting really close. That one car is getting really close as they exit turn 4. Or well, I got to get used to where this track is right now, Scott.
That it is. Interesting strategies up here. I'm interested to see how these tires are going to play out here. Lap 14 on the board right now, but remember, these guys are stuck with the tires that they run, so there's no sense in kind of go all out now, maybe burn up the tires and wait for a caution. If you wait for those cautions, you're not going to be able to change tires, so it should be interesting to see how things cycle throughout this 110 lap race tonight.
I'm just going back through here and looking at our champions, past champions. Got Justin Michael, the winner of the Cup Series champion. He's in the 87. Last time we looked at him, he was in 12th, currently running in 9th. He's in that red 87 car. So he is making progress. Another one of our champions, Tuesday night series, Mike Erder in the 117 car. Started in 15th, he's up to 11th. He's in that lime green 117 car. That's kind of a neat color you picked out there for him, Scott.
Yeah, he usually likes fluorescent yellow, but somebody had already taken the fluorescent yellow by that point. I think it is Rod Mitten had, let's take a look at Rod's car here. Rod Mitten's got the yellow kind of locked up there, so fluorescent yellow for Rod tonight.
Well, he just got around the 8 car of Billy Bumgardner, so now he's starting to look ahead there to Justin Michael. So starting to set sights on Justin Michael as Justin Michael's about to come up on some traffic here.
Justin Michael eyeballing at P number 8 just ahead. It's Rod Mitten that we were just talking about in that yellow car just ahead of Justin Michael. Let's look at some lap times maybe, shall we? See how this is playing out. Last time by, Justin Michael with an 18.5. Your leader, Michael Milfeld, with an 18.5 as well. Let's not forget also about Wes Holland is out here too. We haven't mentioned much about him. Looks like a little bit of right front damage, a little scrape around the right side so far, but so far looking good for Wes Holland, who started, has been as high as 7th and currently running in 7th.
I'm going to call out some more champions here. So our Wednesday night series in the GT Masters Series, that's Johnny Hamby. He's currently running in 12th, actually getting passed on the outside. He was running his way back up, but currently running in 12th, and he's being passed right now by the 8 car of Billy Bumgardner, or he's actually made the pass, I should say, as they come down the front stretch here. Another one of our season champions up there in 2nd place, Heath Smith, Xfinity Series champion this year, or this past season. Currently 2nd place, doing what he knows he needs to get done. He also was in the top 16 in the regular season in the Cup Series. Let's see where he actually finished. It looks like Heath Smith finished in 12th overall, so well-deserved position there as they're coming up on some lap traffic now.
The lapper is James Hearns in the 78. We saw get involved in that accident early on in this thing. Probably a little bit off pace last time by. Let's see, Johnny Hamby. I don't see James. Oh, there he is. James Hearns running in 15th spot. Last time by with an 18.6, about 2/10 off a leader's pace.
Then the last champion I'll call out here, Scott, and we mentioned it before, and that was the 117, Mike Erder, out there currently running in 10th in that lime green 117. He got the Retro Series championship and I believe one other championship this year. He didn't quite make the top 16 in the Cup Series, but that's why he's here tonight, because he is a multi-league champion.
That it is. I think that's really cool. It was actually Erder's. I don't know if I told you about this, Ken, but it was Mike Erder's idea last year. We went strictly by the tops. Oh, it was a big crash in turn 3 and 4 here. Let's bring out the yellow flag here. Stand by.
Yeah, I'm looking to see who that was. I want to say that was Jeffrey Merck. Yeah, it was. Definitely Jeffrey Merck involved with that one.
You showing the yellow flag out, Ken?
Yeah, the yellow is out.
Okay, good.
They're catching back up to the pace truck right now. It's just coming out on the track, so kind of came out at an inopportune time, so these guys got to circle all the way around here. We do have one quick repair, so that's going to save the bacon for a lot of these drivers. Jeffrey Merck's got a lot of front-end damage.
Watching the replay right now, Christopher Davis and Jeff Merck side by side in 3 and 4. We're seeing how this last caution came out here. This is a replay. Jeff Merck on the inside of Christopher Davis, and looks like, man, a little bit of contact. Not that time around, probably this next time in turn 3, I gotta imagine. There it is. That's Merck. I thought it was James Hearns because of the brown car, but it was Jeff Merck. It's looped into the outside wall there. Tough break for Merck.
Yeah, starting off the MROC series here with the blast there, Jeff Merck and Christopher Davis there. So tough break for Jeff Merck. That's a hard impact. I'll just give a shout out to Senior Holland. He's out there in chat wishing Wesley Holland, who's currently running in 6th place right now. They're all out on the track. A lot of the drivers came in. They can't take tires, or, well, I guess they could take fuel there, Scott, but there is no tires available to them. It looks like Jeffrey Merck's got that car repaired. I'm just looking at some of these other cars. It looks like Johnny Hamby, who had damage, stayed out. Still got a lot of damage on that left front. And let's see what some of our other drivers may have done. Let's take a look at Justin Michael. Looks like he didn't come in. Got a little bit of right front damage on that car. But Justin Michael's now up to 7th place.
And he is still a fast pair in his pocket, probably saving that for later. Notice on these paint schemes, one kind of cool thing I did, Ken, is put a little kick plate reinforcement on the base plates and the front bumper of these cars. So maybe That's a little bit of reinforcement there for some contact, but so far there's been plenty of contact here at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, we're 31 of 110 laps, so we're knocking them down really quick at about 18 seconds a lap. We should be doing pretty good, but the lights are out in the pace truck, so next time by, we will be going green. Michael Melfeld Jr. will lead him to that green flag. He's fifth in second. Greg Ball will start third. Jack Watts in the 77 will start fourth. Christopher Davis in fifth, and Wesley Holland is your top six.
Let's go on the roof cam from Jack Watts, P number 4. On this restart, lap 32 going on the board. Michael Melfeld with a huge jump here as we are away racing at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, we got a bunch of double wide. Oh, Christopher Davis gets a little sideways back there. Justin Michael now looking at the inside as they go 3 wide. You got Christopher Davis is that meat in that sandwich right now. Heck of a battle there. Christopher Davis does not want to give it up. Running hard on the outside, trying to prevent Justin Michael from getting that position, but I think it's going to be no dice there.
Yeah, Rod Minton almost gets to his left rear there, but thinks better of it as these guys single. Oh, Justin Michael, maybe a little bit of contact there. I think Justin's going to be too happy about that as they go side by side. One, Christopher Davis on the outside, pitches him down. Justin, I think, is going to show him that he doesn't appreciate that.
Yeah, that was the move I was totally expected there. Seems like Christopher Davis driving with a little bit of fire and got the 60 car that just made the pass on Christopher Davis, and that's Jeffrey Murky was involved in that earlier incident that brought out the last caution. Now working on the inside of Rod Minton right there. Got that damage fixed in that car, and he's starting to run the leaders back down there.
That he is. Jeff Merck last time by with an 18.64. Leader Michael Melfeld with an 18.62, so right on the pace with the leaders here.
No change up front. Michael Melfeld Jr. doing what he needs to do, staying up front. Heath Smith just behind him, and Greg Mall rounds out your top 3. Kind of nose to tail with those 3 cars there.
Yeah, first time Greg Mall's kind of joined this package here. I think he was running about 3rd or maybe 4th in that first stint, but now he is re-racked since the caution. I'm going to see if he has anything to challenge Michael Melfeld, Heath Smith, who have been running pretty much 1 and 2 this entire race so far.
Kind of surprised, Scott. I kind of expected more of a high line here, but it looks like the bottom is the best way to go around. I know with the Cup cars, we can see them run double file here. Even the truck 7 sideways. Greg Ball flips that grass, saves the car. But he's going to drop back a position. That puts him back in 4th. And now Justin Michael creeping in, his teammate coming up in that red number 87 car, up there in the top 5 now.
There's a shot of Justin driving from his cockpit there at home in West Virginia. Number 4, driving on a mission since that early contact with James Hearns in this thing. Nice way to regroup, and 1.5 seconds off the lead of Michael Melfeld, doing a great job.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give a shout out to Jeffrey Merck right now. Jeffrey Merck currently up to 6th position. Kind of running his teammates down. He's on a mission. I think he's fired up after taking that header into the wall there and getting that thing repaired. Oh, and he gets in the wall. I thought he was going to ride that thing right up in the wall, up into the fence there.
Looking out the backside of Merck right now, back to Rod Minton, that bright yellow car. His, I feel like, is easy to remember. Merck has the same color as he did last year, so I can remember that one, but there's quite a few drivers here with different colors. It's going to be hard to take a race or 2 to get used to. And before you know it, Ken, the season's going to be over. Only 4 races in this season. Hey,
yeah, about the
up
time
front here, Heath Smith closing in on Michael Melfeld, putting some pressure on, maybe just letting him know that he's there. Greg Mall has since fallen back a little bit, give that 3rd spot to West.
Yeah, I was just going to shout out that 41. It looks like an 8-ball on top of that car, that white with the black spot on the top of that car. Should be the number 8 there, Scott.
Yeah,
I guess I'd have it. It should have been a black car, I guess, with the white thing. I don't know.
Maybe I should have done that for Billy Bumgarner. Billy's back here, and I guess it kind of looks like a set of pool balls, right? Billiard, yeah, pool balls, all these colored cars.
They do, all these cars.
8. Billy Bumgarner's in that 8 car, so he's got a black number 8 on the top there.
And Jeff Merck's already been the cue ball, so Yeah, Michael Melfeld Jr., I'm really impressed tonight. He's having a solid run out there. I don't know if he's saving his equipment or what's going on, but starting to actually pull away from Heath Smith. Heath Smith's starting to fall in the clutches of that 41 in third place, Wesley Holland.
Wes Holland last time by, 18.699. That's a 10th, just over a 10th faster than Michael Melfeld.
Got up to lap 48 of 110, so we're almost halfway there, Scott, in about another 7 or 8 laps.
Yeah, and about as I would suspect, based on what we've seen in the past with these drivers, guys like Wesley Holland and Justin Michael entering the picture here, 3rd and 4th. And let's put Mark in that picture as well here in the second half. It's going to start to tick by here. These guys are starting to creep towards the front, taking advantage of those guys that maybe use up their tires early on this thing, like Michael Melfeld and Heath Smith. Looks like it just grazed the wall there off turn 4 as Wes Holland continues to put on the pressure.
Yeah, and Wes Holland, he's no stranger to not saving tires, I should say. Every time I think he's going to lay back and keep it cool, he puts the pressure on really hard. So I imagine Heath Smith looking back there and seeing that white car get bigger and bigger in that mirror is not helping his concentration out there on the track right now.
I realized I got my beer can and I didn't even open it yet, so we'll open that one.
Yeah, I'll toast you. I've been sitting here watching my beer. I haven't been drinking it. The racing's just too good.
We got cameras. Oh, actually, let me...
Yeah, we gotta toast you.
Yeah, let's do a toast. There you are. Let's do that. Let's do that. Cheers, Ken. There we go.
Cheers. To an awesome season we had last season. So running all 36 races. Well, most of those 36 races, it's been really fun, and the broadcasting, the producing that you do with this is just incredible. I get to come back here and run my hole, but all the work that you had to do to put these things together, it's much appreciated.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. We've heard a couple messages from the drivers who are super thankful for this. I'm just glad that we can give them an awesome place to race and somewhere where it's friendly most of the time. We get heated at times and passionate about what we do, but
almost had a big moment. Greg Mall got into the wall there. Him and Rod Minton were going side by side. I was going to call it out. Greg Mall got a little hard on the gas on the exit of the corner, got up into the wall, rode the wall up almost down the entire backstretch. Had to fall behind Rod Minton now. But these cars are pretty tough. I'm glad you put that guard on those things. Maybe that protected Greg's Mall, because I don't see a lot of damage on that car right now.
Yeah, this is Greg Mall in the replay. We'll watch as Justin Michael goes to the inside. There's a replay of what happened there. Maybe he was pressured from wanting to ride that outside line. There he is into the wall for 2. Like I said, rides that wall down the back straightaway. No harm, no foul. Still on the way.
Wes Holland now up in 3rd. He's getting that car totally sideways, trying to find a way around that one car right now. So he's actually taking a late apex, trying to get a run down the straightaway. You can see him go up high, and then you see him drop down to the bottom, but he is opening the bottom to Justin Michael, who's now closing into this picture as well. Oh, and then Wes Holland just tags the wall there.
Yeah, I heard him get off the gas there. I didn't quite see it on the camera, but tags the wall again.
Well, I guess my jinx is back now, Scott.
Did it ever leave?
No, I doubt it.
Post in the chat. You're in the chat there watching tonight. Send us a message. Let us know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from.
Well, all the cars are still in the lead lap as we're approaching halfway to go here, or we're past halfway, so we just crossed the halfway point. Everybody's still in the lead lap. The last car, Trent Drum, currently running in 15th, is 9 or 10 seconds off the lead, basically. Got an 18-second lap time track here.
Whoa,
Michael
went to a blimp view there. Just saw Billy Bumgarner catch the grass here. We haven't watched this battle too much in the back of the pack, but Charles Widener, Billy Bumgarner, and Trent Drum. And Billy just mowing the lawn there in turn 2.
Yeah, Justin Michael now back up front for 4th. He's working on Wes Holland, and down on the inside here as it comes down the front stretch here, and see if he can take him in turn 1 here. I think the car gets really free when you're down that low, and Wes Holland, I'm sure, is going to try to keep him pinched down there. And you can see Justin Michael had to back off and get behind Wes Holland. Almost looks like he was going to put the bumper there to him for a second there, Scott.
I'm gonna say, how many times do you think Justin's gonna continue to let off as Wes pitches that entry there?
Yeah, Wes can't seem to do anything with that one car, and might start to see Wes start to get a little frustrated. We know Justin Michael is a very patient man. He's done a great job. He's got a little bit of damage on that red 87 car from the early incident that didn't bring out the caution, but still keeping it strong, not much damage. These late models aren't very aerodynamic. Oh,
little sandwich there as Heath Smith gets sideways, Wes Holland checks up, and then Justin gets in the back of Wes there.
Yeah, here you go. Now, the 41 found his opportunity to get by Heath Smith, but Heath Smith coming pretty strong, shoves it down in there. Oh, almost gets together with 87. Wes Holland's got the position. Now the 87 is putting some pressure on that one car trying to get around him.
Oh, Wes Holland in the wall again on the front straightaway.
You know Wes Holland's driving the wheels off this right now, Scott.
And Michael Milfeld saying, you just keep on doing that.
So we got some other tracks coming up. Next week we got a road course. I think we're going to Homestead, Miami, so they're going to do 20 laps out there. Kind of excited. So what you set up here, Scott, is like 4 different disciplines for these late models the best you could. And I'm kind of really excited about all the tracks you have laid out in front of us.
Yeah, we worked, watch this battle as Justin Michael to the inside of Wes Holland continues to scrape the wall here. I want to see if Justin Michael's going to be a little aggressive trying to make this pass. His time is winding down. About 40 laps to go here. But yeah, Ken, I was going to say, you certainly helped me, and we worked for quite a while the other night trying to figure out finalizing the schedule and making sure that all the tracks have puck horns and bathrooms ready for all the fans that are watching. The stands are full here, so yeah, we're going from here to Homestead, Florida, and then back up to my home track, my favorite and everybody's worst track, it seems like, New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
That's one of my favorites there too, Scott.
Yeah, and then we're doing more flat track and short track racing. We're going to close the season at Stafford Springs, Connecticut. Short track racing again to close out a quick 4-race series here at the Multi-League Race of Champions.
Well, you call it all short tracking, but New Hampshire with these cars, I don't know if I consider that a short track. It's a flat track, but I think we're going to see some pretty good speeds with these cars there. These cars ought to be a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I think so too. Looking back through the field here, trying to find some battles. Maybe Johnny Hamby and maybe trying to catch on to Christopher Davis. Those cars are similarly colored here, kind of teal color that Christopher Davis has always been used to. And then Johnny's color, similar color there. We got Matt LaVenture in the chat. Hey-o, says LaVenture.
Hey, Matt. So he's out there rooting for the Stone Rivers Outfitters. We would have a car out there, but that's what Jeff Merker usually drives. But Matt is the owner of Stone River Outfitters for your, I guess, fly fishing tackle needs, if I've got that right, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
And Merck usually wears those colors, but Merck is out here in an MROC car right now, so there is no sponsors except for Patent & Paints. Patent & Paints painting all these cars tonight. You need a paint. Make sure you look up Scott. He isn't busy enough, so he'll paint you a car.
I got nothing else going on at all. We did throw LaVenture on there on the back roof of these cars. We'll show it one more time here in the back. That's Heath Smith. Got Stone River Outfitters as an appreciation sponsor there in the back lid of all these cars out here tonight.
Yeah, speaking of Heath Smith and Justin Michael there, Heath Smith starting to put some pressure back on Justin Michael. Justin Michael tried to make a run on Wes Holland, couldn't get it done, and now he seems to have dropped back a little bit. I don't know if that's to catch his breath, maybe make a second attempt, or he's used up that car, that damage is starting to affect it. I don't really know.
Yeah, I think we saw him get sideways a couple times and burn up those tires. Like I said, these guys are stuck with these tires to the end of the race, and it may take a bigger toll than what we expect. I myself certainly don't have as much flight time or drive time per se in these super late models. I don't think Ken does either, so kind of just new to us as far as how these tires will wear if you get them out of shape off these corners sideways.
Well, you know who's been showing who's boss tonight, and that's Michael Melfeld Jr. out there in that, I don't know what color you call that, pea green or, yeah, I'm not sure, but that 155 car has just been solid all night. No mistakes. running a perfect line, so to speak. And everybody else kind of racing for second at the moment, but we still have 33 laps to go.
That we do. Last time by, Michael Milfeld with a 19 flat, Wes Holland with an 18.99. So they are virtually identical here. Justin Michael with a 19.1, a little bit slower. So if anything, Wes Holland maybe has something for Michael Milfeld as things close down here. We'll see. Let's watch this time by, see what Michael Milfeld does. 19.004. Wes Holland with an 18.96. So about a half a tenth faster for Wes Holland.
Oh, Rod Minton just had a big moment. Clipped the grass on the inside, got totally sideways. He was starting to put some pressure on the 60 car, Jeffrey Merck. Back there running for 6th position, actually trying to get back into the top 5. Jeff Merck, who started in 11th, is up to 5th and took that header into the wall, got that car repaired, and he's in the top 5.
Watching Merck run 3 seconds off the pace. I don't imagine that he'd be in winning contention here if this thing plays out the way that it looks like it's going to. But we shall see. You can see those brake rotors really light up there on that brown super late model there.
Well, I can tell you what, there's a whole field here of drivers. There's 15 out of the 16 drivers we have out on the track that all want a caution. Meanwhile, that 155 car running up front probably does not want to see that caution. He's been running a perfect race, and it looks like starting to pull away from Wes Holland now. About 3/4 of a second ahead of him. We'll see this time by. I know you got the live time in there, Scott, but see what happens here on mine.
Yeah, that time by, Milfeld with an 18.89. Wes Holland with an 18.97. A little bit slower for Wes. Looks like he's dropping off. It was a solid 3/4 second, like you said, Ken, but now it's kind of down to 0.8 of a second or so.
Yeah, and then there's a battle heating up. Justin Michael and Heath Smith, that one orange number 1 car out there, putting all kinds of pressure on the 87. Almost gets the bumper to him, clips the grass a little bit. You got to be careful, get back on the throttle when you do that. Trying to get around that 87 car right now. Heath Smith has been strong. He's, like I said, a series champion, not from the Cup Series, but from another series this year. He also was in the top 12, I believe, on the regular Cup Series this year. So he's a double doer out there tonight.
That he is. His brake rotor, speaking of brake rotors, matches car color, so he's got that going on for him. He doesn't need to color his tire rims like Merck did, because they're already orange for him.
Yeah, Michael Milfeld Jr. still pulling away from Wes Holland, gained about another 0.2 since last time we looked at him. Looking at about 1.2, Wes Holland has dropped back. But Michael Milfeld Jr. is looking at some traffic ahead of him, and he's starting to approach some lap traffic, which we haven't talked about all night, really.
No, we have not. Let's see who that is just in front of him there. Looks like a lap car of Trent Drum. Yeah, Billy Bumgarner and Charlie Widener. We were watching this battle about 15 laps ago. It seems like they haven't really separated themselves much just yet, but now I've got the leader, Michael Milfeld. There he is in that lime green car. And starting to catch up to them.
Yeah, and those 3 guys, like I said, we got 4 races. I don't believe there's any drop weeks, right, Scott? So
Correct.
This is what you get. So, but it's fun seeing all the best talent here at Multi-League out here racing tonight. Michael Milfeld Jr. kind of being the class of the show, stretching that lead out to 1.5 now as he's approaching the back of Trent Drum right now. With about 20 to go, he's going to be in those lap cars. And the question is, are they going to let him by? Questions yet to be answered.
Go back here a little bit as Rod Minton putting some pressure on Jeff Merck. Let's see if we can... Yeah, let's pull up Rod. There he is in his house there driving. Horse and yellow car.
Yeah, Rod having a super solid night tonight. Working that wheel like crazy. So these cars must be a lot of fun out there to be out in them. Justin Michael back up for the 3rd position is now putting pressure on Wes Holland. Looking to the inside of Wes Holland. Justin Michael, you see him down there on the inside. They come down the front stretch. Wes Holland not going to give it up that easy. Dived it in hard into one. seeing if that outside lane will work. Oh, Wes Holland gets in the wall, and it doesn't work.
Wow. So Justin's relieved to see that. Wes Holland tries to get to his bumper, back to it in the middle of 3 and 4. Can't quite do it. I'd say that right side is taking just about all the abuse that it can so far, but...
Well, Michael Melfeld Jr. just cleared all the lap traffic. Almost had a moment there, got a little bit sideways here when we were talking about Justin Michael and Wes Holland, but was able to clear those lap cars, and now it's pretty much a clean track ahead of him.
That gap back to what used to be Wes Holland for second is now Justin Michael. It's 1.5 seconds back with just 15 laps to go. We're getting down to it here. Although Wes Holland has not dropped off nearly as much as I thought he would, especially after hitting the wall as often as he has.
We got somebody in the wall in the back. We're still in the green. That was the green car 117 of Mike Herder. Went down on the inside wall there on the backstretch. We stayed green. Somehow Jeffrey Merck ended up back in 10th. I'm not sure. We must have missed something there, Scott.
Yeah.
But
Here's the replay of Herder. Looks like he was letting off there for some traffic and then just got tagged by James Hearns there off of corner number 2.
hey, yeah, Jeff Merck is headed to pit lane. I believe that car might be on 7 cylinders or something like that, but the car's got a lot of damage. It's actually driving down pit lane sideways, so I think that's going to end the night for Jeffrey Merck.
It's kind of, oh, I see a highlight here. Let's see what happened to Merck and Rod Mitten side by side. We were talking about that battle where Rod was putting the pressure on Merck. This is a replay. It looks like they just get together, and Merck again steers to the right, and there's a concrete wall out there. That'll end the right front suspension on Jeff Merck's car.
Well, I went back to second place. Justin Michael is going through those lap cars. Justin Michael all of a sudden looks really strong, and I think once he clears Charlie, it'll be interesting to see if Justin Michael is faster than the leader. We know Justin Michael is always strong. Now that he's got those lap cars, Wesley Holland behind him, see if he can run down our leader with about 10 laps to go.
Check out some intervals. Right now, looks like a solid 1.4, maybe a 1.5. I'd say about a 1.4 on average. See what Justin does this time. Michael Melfeld with an 18.97 last time. Justin with a 18.95. So virtually identical laps. I don't think that's going to cut it with just 10 laps to go. Wes Holland in the wall again.
Wes Holland's having an affair with that wall.
Maybe we need to start a tip jar, Ken. What do you think? These guys tip $1 every time they scrape the wall?
Yeah, well, Wes Holland's going to have to put his phone number on that wall. Justin Michael has run down our leader just a little bit. It looks like about a 1/10 of a second since the last time I looked at the scoring. I don't know if that's going to be enough, Scott, with 8 laps to go. He's going to really have to knuckle down here.
I think so too, but Justin Michael, we know from Point Series Championship in the Cup Series, he knows how to run for a championship, and putting it all on the edge and potentially wrecking the car, and when he could otherwise finish second and have a good night is what Justin is probably looking at doing, looking at the big picture here with just 4 races in this series. Can't afford to have a bad night like Merck.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Justin, I just looked at his last lap time. It was almost identical to Michael Melfeld Jr. there, so didn't really make up any time that last lap. We'll see what happens this time, but looks like he's going to be battling for second here. Oh, there he made up a 10th.
You know what I kind of about Melfeld, we haven't talked much about him, maybe not giving him the credit that he's due for kicking butt here tonight in dominating fashion, leading virtually every lap here, I think.
I believe that's right.
More importantly, I think, on my book, is the fact that that car is probably one of the only ones that is showroom clean the way that it came out of the paint shop this afternoon.
Oh, Justin Michael had a big moment there, got totally sideways. That's going to allow the 41 maybe to take a peek on the inside. Couldn't quite get it there, but Justin Michael driving it super hard, got it sideways. Lost a bunch of time to Michael Melfeld Jr. He's just been running a solid race tonight.
There you can see the right side, a good view of the right side of Wes Holland's car as we enter the corner. Maybe see it last time, but we could anyway. That's a really good example of, man, these guys can really take on some damage with these cars and still be super competitive, huh?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And Michael Melfeld Jr. still out front. We've got 3 to go there, Scott. 2 to go next time by Michael Melfeld Jr. showing why he was in this thing. Pretty much is, like you said, since the drop of the green flag has led every lap.
Absolutely, continues to pull away. He's not giving up yet. Just kind of doing his thing out there all by himself. There's nothing really better than that from a racer's standpoint, huh? I know it makes for boring racing per se, but you can probably agree to this. Sometimes those are the best races from a racer's standpoint.
Absolutely. That's where I like to be, out front and not having to deal with anybody. White flag is out. He's on the backstretch. Michael Melfeld Jr. been clean all night long going into 3 here. Can he get the last 2 corners done cleanly? I'm sure he can. As he comes across the front stretch here, Michael Melfeld Jr. get the win.
There it is, race number 1. Going to Melfeld, to Michael in 2nd, Holland in 3rd, Heath Smith across the line in 4th. In the battle for 5th, looks like Rod Mitten is going to get that over Jack Watson 6th, Craig Mall 7th, James Hearns and P number 8, Chris Davis 9th, and Erder comes back for a 10th place finish after that spin a few laps ago.
Yeah, and the last car in the lead lap, Johnny Hamby. So that was a good run by everybody. I think we had, 1 caution tonight there, Scott? So awesome racing by everybody.
There's Michael Melfeld tearing it up on the front stretch. He doesn't get to do that all this often. I don't think he has any wins, certainly not this year, but the last couple of years, none that I can recall. So hats off to Michael tearing it up, having a stage time here on the front stretch at North Wilkesboro Speedway. All right, as he parks it on the front straightaway, we'll take a look at the results. We'll get some people queued up here for some interviews. And
yep, getting them queued up right now, Scott. We got 2 of them. I'm looking for Wes Holland. Wes Holland, I'm sure, will be here shortly, but we got Justin Michael Melfeld Jr. out there ready to go.
All right, get things started here.
There we go. I believe I've talked to all the teams now, and we're ready to talk to some drivers there, Scott.
All right, why don't we start with Wes Holland? Maybe Ken, if you want to do that.
I can always do it.
All right. So
Hey, Wes Holland, Scott, and myself out here in the booth. Hey, great job battling for 3rd. Heck of a battle between you and Justin. I got to ask you, you started off with an incident early on. Did you think that was going to affect you?
I mean, I didn't know exactly how it was going to affect me, honestly. I hit the wall watching what was going on in my mirror. So, yeah, that was a great job by me. So, it didn't hurt it too much. It felt good the entire run until I think I started pushing a little a little too much there at the end, trying to catch Milfett and just roasted that right front. So I never had anything for him. Thought I did, and probably gave up 2nd over that. So, but it was a good run. It was a fun race.
Well, I got to tell you, Scott and I are hammered because we had a bet at the start of the race. Whoever hit the wall the most, we're going to have to take a shot. And
that had to be me, right?
Yeah. I told Scott, I said, man, the guy needs to write his phone number on the wall so NASCAR knows who to get a hold of for all the repairs.
I love that wall, I'll tell you what.
That was an awesome race. A great 3rd place finish. I know it probably wasn't exactly what you're looking for, but another thing that Scott had mentioned during the race, that these cars seem to take a lot of abuse and still keep their speed. Did you find that true?
Yeah, and it's kind of different from the last time I was in this super late model. Had to be like 4 or 5 years ago. It didn't, I mean, if you barely crumpled up the right front, it was atrocious trying to get through the corner. So I hit the wall probably 150 times that race, and it held together. It looks good in the replay too. So yeah, didn't feel any difference with any damage on the right side. So it held up pretty well, and we brought it home 3rd.
Well, so next week in this MROC series, we're going to a road course, and you found a victory last season during the regular season on the road course. Have you done any practice at Miami yet?
I didn't even know we were going to Miami road course, so that's how much I pay attention.
Well, you better get to practicing. That's actually that track is a lot of fun. It's going to offer a lot of close racing, but you do have to put a little bit of time in there. But look forward to seeing you out there. You got anybody you want to thank tonight? I know your father was out here watching the race as always. It's always good having him. Got anybody else you want to thank tonight?
Just you guys for putting this on. I mean, we're already out of the regular season and right back into another one. So appreciate you guys and all the admins and everybody that comes out here, runs every week, and puts on a good show.
All right. Thanks, Wes. We'll send you back to your team. Have a good night. Good job on that 3rd place finish there.
All right. Thank you.
All right, that's Wes Holland finishing third. Nice points night for him. We're going to bring up Mr. Justin Michael here, see how his race finished up a whole heck of a lot easier or better than it started, I gotta say. But after that first incident, what was the frustration level like? And then how was it driving through the field? How racy were these cars? Did you find the super late models?
Hey, Justin was having some radio difficulties, so I'm going to bring him up now there, and I think we'll have him now, Scott.
Look at that. There he is, Justin Michael, Scott Patton in the booth, finishing second tonight. Awesome start to the series here in the Multi-League Race of Champions. I want to talk to you about your race finishing a whole lot better than it started, talking about how racy these cars felt driving through the field all the way up to second tonight after early incident.
Well, I'm not a short track guy, so I don't know how I got up there like that, but yeah, sorry to the Hearns there. I didn't mean to hit him there, but I think we were 3 wide. Maybe he didn't know it, I don't know, but I'll take the blame on that one. But yeah, it's we just kind of had to muscle our way through there, especially in the back. I know I got into a brush up against a couple people, things like that. I mean, it's just short. As Denton Ham will say, that's your short track racing. It was a good race. I mean, we got a few incidents. I don't know if we get negative points for that or not. So, but hopefully it was a good show for you guys.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. The cars looked really racy there, and I was surprised, and I got to imagine that you maybe were surprised too, to see all the damage on Wes Holland's right side, but yet he was able to keep pace with you in the closing laps after you passed him, after he tagged the wall one of those times. But were you surprised by how much damage he took on and how able he was to keep pace with you there?
Yeah, actually, I lost count about how many times he hit the wall. It was over 10 at least. I was very surprised that the thing was still racing after that. And then I was very surprised we got by him too. And then I just couldn't. I had nothing for Milfelt there. He was on a rail. I was last 10 laps or so. I was just slinging it into the turns, trying to, I don't know, make him think I was getting closer and see if he'd screw up. But I ended up screwing up hitting the grass.
Yeah, sounds good. And speaking of that starting lineup, the good news is not awesome points day here, finishing second in that red car here in the Multi-League Race of Champions. But the unfortunate news, Justin, I'm sure you probably know from last year, is you're probably going to go to the back of the pack next year at Homestead Road Course because of that. As we start next week, reverse order from the finishing order this week. What do you got for Homestead Road Course next week, starting from the back?
Well, I knew Homestead had a road course, but I didn't know that anybody actually used it up until it was announced last week. So, yeah, so this will be a fun week of practice. I have no idea how to run that place, so fun times. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate your scheduling there.
I'm here for you. Speaking of awesome schedule, you know what track is after Homestead, right?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Hopefully it gets flooded between now and then. Full of water.
The pond at New Hampshire Motor Speedway up here. Awesome job, Justin. Good to see you back here after an awesome dominating series, of course, in the Cup Series. That was an awesome closer there to finish out the series. So looking forward to seeing what you can do here. Nice points tonight after some early trouble. Great job finishing second tonight here at Multi-League Racing Champions.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
See ya. And our race winner, dominating fashion, Mr. Michael Milfelt Jr., kind of drama-free up there. How'd it look from your standpoint most of the race?
It wasn't drama-free if you were watching my relative.
We were, and looks like guys tried to close in, but didn't look like anybody got within a couple seconds at least, or a second or so on the second half of that race. Under early pressure from Heath Smith in the first half of the race, would you say? And what was that like?
Absolutely. It was all about keeping him behind me for the first half, and then Wesley got up there, and I had to pick it up a little bit when Wesley started coming. And then Justin got up there. I'm like, oh, crap, here we go. But, yeah, it worked out. Thank goodness.
Yeah, it looks like that track position was key, getting that clean air out at North Wilkesboro, which is not typically a track that we think of clean air having that much advantage. But nonetheless, you made the best of it. Mistake-free race, and you're probably one of the only cars out there with no visible damage on the car. So from my standpoint, all the work that I put in these cars this afternoon, I certainly appreciate the fact that you're the only car that looks just the way that it did rolling off the showroom this afternoon.
I think I got the wall a couple times, but it wasn't that bad. Just little scrapes.
Little scrapes are fine. That's why I put the steel kick plates there on the side skirts for you.
There you go.
What do you got for next week? We're going to Homestead Road Course. What do you got? Anything there?
I don't know. I hope so.
Oh,
Cool.
come on, Mike. You got to be better than that.
I tell you what, Time that you can race with these guys, it's a blast. All of these guys, it's an honor just to be in there racing with them. I really didn't think I was going to come away with a win tonight, so we'll see. Hopefully next week, come away with another one.
That's how it works. You got anything for him, Ken?
No, I was going to say I was going to ask him about the road course because I know he does have some experience at Homestead, and I know that track's a lot of fun for us that run the road course series because it keeps the cars bunched up. But I think, Scott, we invert the field next week.
Yes.
So, Michael, you're going to have to come from the back to the front. Can you do it? That's the big question.
Nice. Sure, I'm up for a challenge.
There you go, man. That's what I like to hear. So
I was going to say, maybe we should record that, but it's already recorded. So we got you on record there, Mike.
There you go.
All right. Congrats
All right.
on the win tonight. One race in the books. Awesome start to the point series here. It's just a 4-race series. So you got the best of everything tonight. So congrats on that. We'll look forward to seeing you next week at Homestead, Mike.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you putting this up for us, Scott. Ken, appreciate the job you guys do.
You bet.
Appreciate having you in the booth, Mike. It's great to. I think this is the second time we've talked to you all year. I think you had a second or third at one of the road courses earlier this season, and it's kind of awesome that you get a win during the MROC series. I mean, you got to be proud of that. I know it's exciting. You love running with these guys, but I know Scott and I were pretty excited to see you in victory lane tonight as well. So congrats on that.
Thank you. Now I just got to do it in the Cup Series next year.
Hey,
yeah.
It's all about, what do you call it? You get those, start getting those wins, they start feeling good, and then they just keep coming.
I hope so.
All right, Mike. Congrats again.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there we have it, Ken. Round number 1 is in the books here from North Wilkesboro. Saw an awesome race tonight. Little incidents early on. Saw guys struggle with hitting the wall. Wes Hall and some other guys. Some other minor fender benders, but we'll bang out all these fenders for next week. We're going road course racing. We'll see if these guys can keep it all 4 tires on the track, Ken. I know you have probably more experience than probably anybody in the field here at that Homestead. What do you have any suspicions as to how the race will look next week?
I think we'll have a few problems out there. Some people getting in the grass and in the wall. The car is a lot of fun out there. On cold tires, you got to be really careful. It takes about 2 laps to get the tires warmed up, but once they do, the car is pretty solid. I think we're doing late afternoon, so it'll be a nice, cool track. I think everybody will have fun with it. My experience at that track has been, it seems like even some of the slowest guys can run up with the leaders. It's one of those tracks that, for whatever reason, that road course just has a lot of close racing. So I think it'll be a lot of fun watching.
I think so too. I'm going to spend some time maybe this week to learn the track a little bit more so I can be familiar with it, but looking forward to that one. I appreciate your recommendation on that one. I think it's going to be a great combination of sort of like the Charlotte Roval, right? Combination of half oval, half road course. So you guys will get a chance to get the cars up to speed through turn 3 and 4, and then dive it in there hard on the brakes in turn 1 to the more technical half of the track. So that should be exciting to see where the talents lie and how the points shake out after that one. But let's look at results maybe real quick from tonight here at North Wilkesboro. We'll see if they work. Hey, look at that. We got results. Michael Milfelt, Justin Michael, Wes Holland. We talked to those 3. Heath Smith with a good run in 4th. Rod Mitten in 5th. Jack Watts up in Grand Rapids, Michigan in 6th. Greg Mall finishing 7th. James Hearns, Christopher Davis, and Mike the Dart Erder rounding out the top 10 here.
Yeah, Johnny Hamby finishes in 11th. Billy Bumgarner finishes 1 lap down in 12th. Charles Widener also a lap down in 13th. Likewise for Trent Drum, finishes 14th. Jeffrey Merck finishes last car on everybody that started tonight in 15th, having some struggles here tonight, but I'm sure Merck will be back next week to give it another go at Miami. And Vernon Margheim, who was slated to run, had some car issues, couldn't get that thing going tonight, so hopefully he's back next week.
Yeah, it's going to be, as you say, Ken, all the time, tough road to hoe for people like Jeff Merck, Trent Drum, certainly Vernon Margheim if he comes back, but Jeff Merck, I'm sure, is going to be super frustrated with some of the incidents tonight, and going to be tough to make up that points deficit when you get strong guys like Michael Milfelt, Justin Michael, Wes Holland having great days up front with just 4 race series. So.
But here's the thing, Scott. So Jeff Merck will be basically starting near the pole or on the pole next week.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That will be an advantage to the young lad, I guess. And so some of our race top 3 tonight will be at the back, and Jeff Merck, Trent Drum, Charles Widener, all those guys will be up front. So be interesting to see as we do that next week.
Good point. Should be a fun time. We'll look at the race summary here in North Wilkesboro. We had 1 caution, no lead changes, 1 driver, Fast lap tonight was lap 5 by Wes Holland, 18.090. That about wraps it up from North Wilkesboro. I think it's time to have a couple beers and enjoy, maybe watch some replays. If you're watching in the chat there, I see Martha asking if Wally Tierheimer's racing tonight. No, unfortunately, he's not, Martha. This one is a series basically based for the top 16 in the points from the Cup Series, as well as past champions from the previous season in multi-league racing. So Wally is in a consolation race, I guess they would say, on the multi-league side of things. So appreciate you watching anyway, Martha.
He's over racing at, what track was that tonight? I can't remember. That was, it doesn't matter. He's out racing another race. They're probably still racing right now. Yeah, Las Vegas. That's what it was.
So that's about it from here at North Wilkesboro. Appreciate everybody watching. Hit that subscribe button. You'll get alerts, let you know when we are going live. There's going to be an extra half-hour practice next week for the Homestead race. We'll see you there. Same time and same channel. Thanks for everybody for watching. Good night from Multi-League Race of Champions, race number 1. Michael Milfelt taking the checkered flag home. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great week.
Good night, everyone.
Drivers, start your engines.